Hey guys, Dr. D here. I posted this video last night with regard to a video that CNN simulated experiment. I question whether the experiment is even real, but even with the quote unquote experiment, you have some information that is very helpful. So first of all, I want to show you all how programming is done. Okay, as a clinical psychologist, there are subtle cues that happen that can go into the brain and you start recording things. First and foremost, let's look to the side. If you cut on your CNN news, you're going to see this, and this has been playing for months on the side. Now, you may or may not be paying attention to it, but it's there for a reason, and your brain is recording it. Okay, on the side of it, it tells you coronavirus pandemic. Globally, over 3.5 million cases and over 249,000 deaths. And then in the United States, over 1 million cases and then 68,000 deaths. Well, if you don't know anything about statistics and the way numbers work, those look like extremely high numbers, right? But if you do the math and you know the population of the globe is over 7.5 billion, that's what the billion people on the planet. And so it's about 1% of the population. And you can go and Google other causes of death and you'll see many more causes of death, such as heart disease, that are at a much higher number. And then there you have 1 million people that in the United States, and there's over 382 million people in the United States. So again, very small, significant amount of people that are dying. People die every single day, even before COVID. So anyway, in order to get your attention, though, to get you to click on this link in the first place, they post this article that Oregon County drops its math exemption for people of color after racist response. So first and foremost, they got to get your attention. And so with all the Black Lives Matter things going on, if I post something that deals with racism, then I'll get their attention. Okay, so with that, why in the world is a video about a cough here when the whole thing is supposed to be talking about this exemption that was dropped? But at any rate, again, another way to get your attention. You need something to stimulate the mind in order to catch its attention. So, hey, let's talk about racism. Then we can get them to look at this video about the simulated cough. So I'm going to start the video, and then I'm going to stop it at different times to show you the way that you are being programmed, if you're not aware of what is happening, to do certain things and to believe certain things that aren't true, even though the truth is right in front of you. Think Pavlov's dog. If you're not sure about that experiment, then go and Google that, okay? All right, here we go.
Inside this lab at Florida Atlantic University, 2 engineering professors are measuring the power of a cough.
2, 1.
Using a dummy, they fill its mouth with a mix of glycerin and water. Then, with a pump, force the dummy to cough. Then wait to see how far the droplets travel.
Okay, so the first thing, this is an experiment. So they tell you that they're simulating a cough, but then they change the wording and say they get the dummy to cough. Okay, the dummy cannot cough. What they got the dummy to do was to expel this fluid out of the apparatus. They didn't get it to cough, but as you're listening to it, you're saying in your mind, if you're not aware of what's happening, that, ooh, this is what a cough looks like, okay?
They fill the air, visible with the green laser light, simulating what happens when we cough.
It generates particles on the order of 10.
Okay, so just to confirm what I said, so after they give you the message, they tell you the message that they want you to receive. The message of it's simulating a cough, and then it says, this is what happens when you cough. So now your brain is saying, when I cough or when someone coughs, I'm in the grocery store, I'm here, I'm there. This is what happens. This is training your mind to do.
Or the droplets travel. They fill the air, visible with the green laser light, simulating what happens when we cough.
It generates particles on the order of 10 to 20 microns, which is roughly close to what the smallest droplet sizes are when we cough.
Take note how quickly the simulated respiratory droplets spread.
1.
The droplets expelled traveled a distance of 3 feet almost immediately. Within 5 seconds, the droplets were at 6 feet, then 9 feet in just about 10 seconds. Remember, 9 feet is 3 feet beyond the recommended social distancing guidelines.
Already reaching roughly 9.
So now you're being told that look how quickly, okay? So in other words, look how quickly, if you stand next to someone, these things can travel. And they show you 3 feet, 6 feet, and then now you see 9 feet, okay? Keep that in mind. You're seeing 9 feet, that real quickly it goes to 9 feet. So now you're getting the message that social distancing is a must, because remember, you've been hearing 6 feet. We need to stay away 6 feet, just like when you're in your grocery store. It says, do your part, stay 6 feet apart.
9 feet now. It's still moving farther slowly.
The fog of droplets lingered in the air, but kept moving forward, taking just another 30 to 40 seconds to float another 3 feet.
It's getting closer to 12 feet now.
Yes, he said 12 feet. Over and over again, the simulated droplets blew past the 6-foot mark, often doubling that distance.
So now you still have the message over here to the side of look at the corona pandemic. Now look at your cough, because they've already told your brain that this cough is, because they said it's a simulated cough, but now all you keep hearing is the cough goes further and further. Now they're telling you instead of 6 feet, you need to be 12 feet, because if not, look, you're going to die, because most people don't realize what these numbers mean. They just see a big number.
It has passed 3 feet already, approaching 6 feet. And it looks like it has crossed 6 feet. And now it has slowed down.
How long might they linger at 9 feet and 12 feet?
So at 9 feet, they could linger for, provided still air, 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, but
Okay, so here's some subtle changes. So now, before they actually showed you lines that were supposed to be 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, but then they removed the measurement lines that they had on the video, and now they're just telling you it's 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, because that's what they want you to be able to do, to look and see how close you are to someone and be able to determine how far apart you are from them. And then now he's telling you 2 to 3 minutes that these things can linger into the air, still giving you the message of, look, everyone's dying, because if you don't know what these numbers mean, you see a lot of numbers. But if you also haven't noticed that, they're getting ready to promote the mask thing, right? And the two simulated, in my opinion, researchers have on masks, but the reporter doesn't have on a mask. So the message is that, here's another message, that these people, whoever they are, that are acting like they're researchers, have to wear a mask, but the reporter doesn't. Okay?
but the concentration is less than what it would be at say 6 feet by about a factor of 8.
The professors say the droplets become less dense the further they travel, but they still hang in the air, still with the ability to carry disease. And watch this. Even when we put a simple mask on the dummy, particles still dispersed from the sides of the mask, though they didn't travel very far. Certainly if you're not...
Okay, so now she says, look what happens when you put on a mask. And she says, oh, it still comes out of the sides, but not very far. So they're telling you that the masks don't work. They show you that the masks don't work, but they minimize it, okay? That is another technique. They minimize the importance of whether or not this is effective or not by telling you what they want you to do, even though your brain is telling you, I don't really think this mask works, okay?
You're not wearing a mask. You're supposed to cough into your elbow. But if you cough into your hand, this is what happens. Let's turn out the lights. I'll put my hand up against the mouth of this dummy and simulate a cough. You can see the droplets spray in all directions. They may not travel as far, maybe about 3.
Okay, so again, you're being lied to in front of your face, but lied to in a way to manipulate you. She just showed you that the mask things go in different directions. But then she shows you that coughing with your hand, it goes in different directions. So in other words, the message that you're receiving is, one, she says, you know you're supposed to cough in your arm, because that's what they were telling us for years. Cough in your arms, not in your hands, so you won't spread germs, right? So now she's saying, don't really do that. Put your mask on, even though your mask doesn't work, because if you cough in your hands, it's a worse effect. But if you look at what she's showing you, it's the same effect. Particles still go in the air, okay, with this simulated cough, all right? But we don't even actually know if that's true, because they didn't use a real person. They used a dummy. For all we know, this whole study doesn't even make sense, because if masks are supposed to be so effective, then my question would be, why didn't we just use real individuals coughing, okay?
3 feet or so, but they spray everywhere. And they can linger in the air, possibly for as long as 3 minutes. Intensity of the cough matters, so we tested a gentle cough too. The lighter cough didn't go very far at all, about 3 feet, but the question remains, how close is too close? Do you think, based on what you've seen in your own lab, that 6 feet is enough for social distancing?
6 feet is a minimum distance that you should keep. It seems that...
But further is better.
Further is better.
Okay, so there's the end of that. She said, how far? And he says, minimum of 6 feet. And he was about to go on with what he said, but the lady said, but further is better. Okay, so there is your programming. You saw the whole video. This is only 3 minutes it takes to program your mind to do something if you're not aware of what's happening. In that little bit of time, they were able to show you something that your brain can perceive if you're not, being consciously aware that if you are within 12 feet of someone, then you are in danger. So even though they were telling us before 6 feet away, it's saying, but further is better. The mask doesn't work, but wear it anyway. Those are the messages that are in there. Guys, please pay attention to what it is that you're seeing. Ask more questions. Ask more questions. You don't have to have a college degree to see the information and misinformation is being fed to you. All right? Go and take care. Go crush your day.